Hey guys, welcome back to the Creative Shack. My name's Lisa, and today we're going to do some holiday DIYs for you guys. So these actually came out so beautiful. They look very high end and they were very, very reasonable to make. So guys, I want to show you how I did it. So let's get started. Okay, for the first DIY, we're going to start out with a wooden round piece. You can get these pretty much anywhere. Dollar Tree, I usually get mine at Hobby Lobby. But anyway, I actually stained mine with my Waverly wax. And while that was drying, I decided to grab this piece that I got at Hobby Lobby. It was like $2.49. I have for 50% off. And I just took the string off and I decided to paint this with a red color. I started out with a red crimson chalk paint color, and then I went in with a darker forest green. I'm actually trying to make it look a little bit more vintage. So I really like the darker greens than the brighter greens, but you can do whatever green you would want. And so I put that off to the side and I actually kind of sanded it down. I only did one coat on that as well. Then what you can see here is I taped it off and I wanted to paint the middle a white color. I only did one layer of this. So I actually put that off to the side and have that dry completely. I did pull out some ribbon that I already had. Some of this ribbon is from Dollar General to Dollar Tree to Hobby Lobby as well. So I just like picked out whatever I wanted for my home decor. And I decided to just cut some strips out and pinch them all together and tie them with a twine and kind of do that with a double knot. And I actually decided to wrap around some of the twine and secure it with hot glue. And then all you have to do is fray it out and see how you want it to lay out. And then I love cutting the ribbon into an angle. So after I was done with that bow, I decided to go back to this round piece and give it a good sand. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want this. And before I put the Merry Christmas on there, I decided to dry brush some white. I love dry brushing white around my circle round pieces. It just gives it a little bit more character. As you can see here, I am going in with more of a rough sand on that white middle piece because I really wanted to camouflage that line. So after that, I actually decided to figure out where I'm going to put this bow, and I did glue the Merry Christmas on there with hot glue. And as you can see here, the bow was a little bit too big, so I did cut that down and decided to bring out this pick that I actually got at Hobby Lobby. I actually got them for 90% off last year. They still have these. They're about like 50% off now. So it would run around about $2. So all I did was like put that right into the bow, and picks always make it look more high end in my opinion. As you can see here, I am tying it off with some twine to give it more secure look. And I kind of secured it with hot glue on the back. And then what you can see here is I am gluing that bow right on the top of the sign. I decided to put some of these berries in there. I did get these berries at Hobby Lobby as well. So I am hot gluing the berries right underneath some of the ribbon. And there you go, guys. I put a nautical rope so you can hang it, and I glue that on the back of the wooden sign, and this one turned out beautiful. So for the second DIY, I actually picked this up for like 90% off. It was $8.99 and I got for 89 cents at Hobby Lobby. And it was a little scratched up and it was broken actually. And I actually decided to buff it out, and I grabbed some of these corner pieces that I actually already had. I bought these corner pieces from Temu. They were like $1, maybe $2 for this whole pack of corner pieces, but you can get these corner pieces at Hobby Lobby as well too. So I actually hot glued the plexiglass to the wooden box, and then I just glued these corner pieces to the corners of the sign. So I would actually not glue these with hot glue. I would glue them with like E6000, something like that. But look how beautiful this turned out with those corner pieces. So for the third DIY, I actually picked this one up at Hobby Lobby for 90% off as well. So I got it for like $1 or something like that. And I actually don't really grab these pieces from Hobby Lobby, but this time I was like, you know what? Because it was so cheap, I'm going to go for it. So I stained all of it first, and then you can see here, I actually took my time with some green paint and go over the letters. And it did take me a while to do that. I did sand it a couple times just to give it more of that rustic feel. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking that same green paint and I'm painting the tree with that green color. As you can see here, I am doing a very small brush for that. And then I took one of my angle brushes and started painting the truck a red color and then black for the wheels and stuff like that. I decided to paint the frame a red color as well, and then I went over with some sandpaper just to give it that rustic feel. So to elevate this sign, I pulled out this pick. Now, if you guys want to find great picks, and I mean cheap and beautiful picks like this, go to Walmart. They're only $1.28. And all I did was bend that stem and then secure it with hot glue. And look how beautiful this piece turned out. This is a very rustic piece. I absolutely love this. I will be keeping this. It's one of my favorites. So for this sign, I actually picked up this at Hobby Lobby for like $4.49. I think this is an amazing price for something like this. Now, this barn I picked up at, I think it was Dollar General last year. They were having a sale for like 80% off. I grabbed it. Okay, they might have it, or they might have something like this at Hobby Lobby. But like I said, you always want to get your pieces for like 80, 90% off when the holiday season is over. As you can see here, I am taking some scrapbook piece of paper, and I actually decided to glue that on the backing of the sign. I decided to paint the frame black because the barn on the bottom was black, and as you can see here, I am going over with that black matte color as well. I pulled out some of this greenery that I already had. It was from Dollar Tree picks, Hobby Lobby picks, that kind of thing. It was like one of my leftover picks. So what I'm trying to do is make a backing for this barn. I kind of wanted to make it like a tree barn, that kind of thing. So I am securing all these beautiful picks with hot glue to the back of the sign. And then what I decided to do was glue that barn in the front of the sign. And I just wanted to, have different variations of length for the picks as well. So that's why, as you can see, I've been measuring it, kind of a thing. I am securing these ones with a lot of hot glue as well. Before I put the barn on the sign, I wanted to put a little saying on the barn because I just thought it just needed something. So I just put Fresh Farm Christmas trees, and I got that off my Cricut Design space. So I glued that right to the sign, and then I felt like it needed a little bit of snow, so I went back in with some dry brushing with some white, and I just kind of went over it a little bit so it looks like a snowy background. And you guys, this was beautiful. I think anybody would love something like this. It's so rustic and so beautiful. So for this DIY, I grabbed this Mary sign from Dollar Tree. I grabbed another round circle piece. As you can see here, there is a stencil on here that I did, and it just didn't come out like I wanted it. So I just didn't want to throw the circle round piece away. So I'm going to cover this up. As you can see here, I've been trying to sand it down. I did paint it green, and it really wasn't covering. And I just think it just wasn't going my way. So I had that going off to the side, make sure it was dried. And then I decided to paint this Mary sign. I did some red, and then I did the deer gold. and I did a metallic gold on that. So because this round piece wasn't covering up, I decided to put some scrapbook piece of paper on here just to make it look a little bit more high end. I had this piece from Hobby Lobby, and as you can see here, it really didn't fit all the way, so I'm just kind of piecing it together. And after I pieced it all together, I did cut it down, and then I'm going to sand it just to give it a nice crisp edge. It just looks better in my opinion. It does take some time, but in the long run, it does look way better. So I wanted to take this Mary sign and glue that right onto the wooden piece, just like so. And as you can see, it just already looks way better. Okay, so let's pull out some picks from Walmart. Now, some of these picks are from Walmart, some of these picks are from Dollar Tree. So except doing a bow, guys, do some picks, which gives it that like rustic theme. So you can see here, I'm taking like 2 different picks and I'm gluing them side by side together. And then I'm just taking some more of these greeneries that I just already had from Hobby Lobby. And I just kind of stuck it in there with some hot glue, put a rope around it so someone can hang it on their door, and look how stunning this is. Okay, for this DIY, I actually already made one of these, and I'm going to do a smaller version because I didn't want this to go to waste, and this was a hit. So anyway, as you can see here, I'm staining this manger scene, and then the Holy Night image, I actually just Googled that and just printed it out. Now, I did print it out from my previous DIY video, and I printed out a little bit too small, so of course I saved it. So I'm actually reusing this, and as you can see here, it didn't print out pretty good, so which is fine. So I grabbed this cutting board from Dollar Tree. I put a rope on the back of it so someone can hang it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this Holy Night image from Google, and I'm going to stick it right onto the cutting board, just like this. And then putting that manger, now this manger is very delicate. Now you can get 2 of these for $1 at Hobby Lobby, and make sure you stain the front and the back. Now, I needed to elevate it to make it like look like it's like popped out a little bit. So I grabbed one of these Jenga blocks, stained that, and then all I did was glue the manger right to the Jenga block, and then gluing the Jenga block to the Holy Night sign. To give it some greenery in there, you're just going to take one of these like wired greenery sticks that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. You get like 10 of them for $1. I just cut it down, and then I place it behind the manger. And then I grabbed some more of these like picks and stuff like that, and I just kind of glued it wherever I wanted it to be. And you guys, you can never go wrong with picks and stuff like that because it does elevate things, especially when it comes to greenery. So as you can see here, I'm just trying to figure it out, glue it wherever it wants to be, and then all I did was just secure the knots in the back. And you guys, I did put one of these like little flowers on, and I think this elevated as well. You can get those paper flowers at Hobby Lobby, and I love this one, and this was a gift for somebody. Okay, for the last DIY, I picked up this manger set for $5. It was 50% off from $10. And I grabbed this board that I already had. It was a sign. It had an arrow on it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the screws right off. I sanded it down so you don't see the arrow. And then what I'm doing is I'm painting the manger all black. I wanted it to make it look like a silhouette. Now, the one thing I did not paint black was the manger star. So I wanted that to be a metallic gold star. And I did it with a matte black all over. It did need about 2 coats a piece. And then all I did was I just took the manger and just took some wood glue and placed it all over. And you guys, This cost me $5, and this can easily be sold for way more than that. To elevate it even more, I put this saying on my Cricut machine. Christ was born on Christmas Day, and I did that in black. And this was my actual favorite piece for today, guys. I love this one. It's so classy in my opinion. And if you guys like these videos, give me that thumbs up. And if you didn't subscribe, you can always subscribe to my channel. I love you on board, and you guys have a great week. Take care.